All right, hello everybody. We are here with a good friend. I always like to start with people that are our friends, Brian, because people wonder, who is this guy? Who is this person? How did they get on our screen? How'd they get in Firecracker Town? So Brian Chidester, you're a good friend of ours, and you're on the inside of our operation through associations and family ties and things like that. But for me, I wouldn't bring you aboard to talk about the business part of softball if you didn't have something to offer. So you are the president and CEO of College Bound Jocks. It's a recruiting service. And just that topic alone, because of its importance, but I myself am very protective with our organizations as far as allowing certain things to come in. I always want everything of value to be inside our organization because that is our responsibility and our service to our families. But I'm also protective of all of the things because it's a flooded market, right? And there's a lot of things going on. And the one thing that I do like about our recruiting aspect, the recruiting aspect of our industry, is that there's all different types of price points, all different types of services. So what I want to do, first of all, thank you for joining us this morning. And I wanted to just talk with you a little bit about CBJ. And, again, it's how long have you had the company? When did CBJ start?
Well, and thanks for having me, first of all. But I actually started creating skills videos about 16 years ago, but we actually started College Bound Jocks in 2012. So we've been doing them 8 years. We've done over 1,000 softball skills videos, and so far we're at our 99% of the kids on our site have been recruited. The only 1% are kids that get to their senior year and just go, I don't want to play anymore.
Well, that's a big number, So I would imagine, like a lot of coaches, did you step into it because there was a need for it, or did you see it as an opportunity? Because I think it's important to talk about your background, because again, what gives us something that's unique, right? And so before we get to your background, how did you get into the recruiting? Was it something that somebody needed, you could provide?
Well, I have 5 kids, all were athletes, and my oldest son was a football player. He decided he wanted to play college football, so my business was I made video for a living. I made national TV commercials. So at that point, my dog's going to join us. But at that point, I put together his highlight video. We sent it out to colleges. I did a lot of research and talking to college coaches, what kind of stuff that they want. And that's what it all came down to, was got to have video, got to see the kid, what he's all about. And so from there, we put that out. A lot of coaches commented about, wow, that's an amazing video. And it's just because that's what I did for a living. So he ended up getting recruited, and then we just, one thing led to another. My number 2 son, we did the skills video for him because he was a baseball player. He ended up getting recruited and going to play baseball at St. Leo D2 in Florida. And then my daughter Amanda, she's a big time softball player. We started into the process with her as she ended up playing in Michigan, and now plays for the U.S. Olympic team. So I've got a lot of connections in softball, and that's why we've done 1,000 softball skills videos. It's definitely the connections that I've got in softball.
And if our coaches haven't heard of Amanda Chidester, they're either just fresh out of rec ball, so they're fresh to new, or they need to get their faces out of their team lineup cards or something. Because, again, what she's done just quickly, from the first time, I think I've told you the story that I noticed her stepping on the field as a freshman at Michigan. You guys were in the Las Vegas tournament, and she had a presence jogging down the line. I think she was the DP in that game. But to watch her development, and then again be close to that through Matt and Juliana, and kind of see that. But a truly professional young athlete, and I think it's a really beautiful story. And I would encourage any of our coaches and players to follow that, because again, the business aspect of this is something a lot of them dream about. And I would hope that Amanda has things available that she could share her story, because I think it's an important, relevant part of it. So congratulations to you with all of your success. And I know we're not done with that as well. So, but that's a big part of this. Going back to your beginning, so you come from an industry that had to master the instant appeal. So the 30-second commercial, right? And that tight little pocket. And I think, Brian, that's relevant and the reason I bring up why and how did you get into it is because softball's full of good, well-intended people. There's a lot of good people, and they're all well-intended, right? But we're talking about delivering, especially nowadays, because this is a very professional industry that we're in. And so coming from the commercial industry, what was it that you feel you had as a background that, because you have to appeal, right? And you have, even in a 30-second commercial, how long do you have to appeal to somebody before they change the channel?
Like the first 3 to 4 seconds.
So what is your philosophy? What is something that you're thinking, how you implement it into even recruiting videos? So it's something that we can take away from that industry.
Yeah. So when we started this, I mean, obviously for me, it's all about shooting different angles, making sure it's really interesting for coaches to look at. Like everything can't be just square on the player, because it just gets boring. So if you go to look at our videos, you'll see a lot of low angles, a lot of high angles, and just camera moving just slightly, not a lot. You don't want to have things confusing to people, but just slightly, but making it interesting for people to watch so that you keep their attention through that, what usually a typical video for us is about 4 minutes long, but that's because the first minute is all just highlights of everything else. So really it's like a 3-minute video, but the first minute is all highlights. So that gives you a total of 4. But I always tell people, look, if we can catch the coach's attention in the first 30 seconds, then we might have a really good chance of getting them to watch the whole video.
So production is part of it. Production, and we don't mean just graphics or music background, but it is the movement of the camera. All of these things that we as the viewer don't notice when we watch television, right? So my son's into that aspect of the industry, and the things that I learned from camera angles, one shot, camera shots, and where they just follow, they don't switch any angles or anything. Very interesting to me, but that does add to the overall experience, right? How about just in general too? What else would you say it has led to the success of CBJ? So is it the production, and what else goes into the success of that 99% that you talk about?
The big thing for us is that, I've shot pretty much every single video on the website. So I get to meet the player and really interact with them for the 3 or 4 hours it takes to shoot that video. So I have a really good understanding of how good that player is and where they're at as a person. And then from there, once the video is done, we have a conference call between myself and the parents and the athlete, and we talk about what reality is. It's like you might think your kid can play at Oregon or Washington, but probably she's more like a mid-major D1, or believe me, if I have kids, like I've got kids at Florida, the starting shortstop at Florida State right now is one of my kids, and those kids are special, and it's like if we have a kid like that, I'm promoting them to the highest level. That young lady actually did get several visits, one to Clemson, one to Oregon. But so we're definitely promoting them to the appropriate place. And that's what I tell parents all the time. It's like the biggest mistake parents make in the recruiting process is they want to fish in the wrong pond. They're going to all these bigger school camps when they probably need to be going to this, like a smaller school's camp. And that's when you start getting bites, that's when you start getting recruited. So it's all about knowing where you're going to fit. And then once you know where you can fit, then start getting to that area and get in front of those coaches, and that's when things happen. Because if you're really a mid-major D1 or even a D2 kid and all you go to is UCLA camps, you're going to go unrecruited. It's just not going to work.
It's kind of like just going and looking at the biggest houses, right? Because we'd like to live in them, and but you're more of a person that creates that reliability, understanding it's not a dream squasher. It's saying, look, let's look at what you're investing your money and your time in, and let's put something that fits. And so that reliability I think is a huge part of it. I think the other aspect that creates your value too, Brian, is that in our industry, you're relatively intimate. You know your people, right? And that's not to say that all businesses need to be like that, but that's one particular aspect of what you do, that you know all your kids. And then you have those relationships with what I call is 4/5 of the market, which are mid-majors. And when I say most of the market, I'm talking about the softball players across America. We see the glory of the 1% of the big programs, but most of the players across this country are in this pocket, right? And so that's an aspect of your business that you're well connected with as well, right?
Yeah, and it is just for the same reason the coaches coach, and I coached for over 20 some years, and it's just like you get that, it's an attachment to these kids, it's like I know every kid on my website, and I don't want to let any of them fall through the cracks. I mean, we definitely take a personal approach to it, and that's why, when a kid's going into their senior year, we got a big board in the office that has every kid's name, and I look at it every day. I'm like, what are we doing for this kid? What are we doing for this kid? And it's like, they're not going to sit there and not get recruited. It just doesn't happen.
Well, I was mentioning to you earlier that the way I present information to our organization is I don't force them through doors. I don't tell them they have to. We try to offer them things that are going to help them. So I use the restaurant analogy, that not only would I suggest that they try your restaurant and someone try it and someone try your service, but one of the aspects that you have, and again, I've used that word multiple times, but there's so many different ways to look at this, is even looking at your background. And a lot of people know of the Chidester family, but the strength of your family and that family structure, and it's there, And, you know, even in softball, it's not that we do things only for being cared for or only for that structure, but when that structure is there, it gives things depth. And so I think that that's also part of, I even like this shot that we have right here because of, you know, sitting in, as if that your living room or your den.
Just this is a family room, yeah.
Just the family structure of what you provide, and it feels good. So you're not just in something that's just numbers, and you're just not number, you know, player number 01903, and it's this or that. I think it's good. If we can spend the next couple of minutes if we can go over maybe a profile, just kind of take a look at how you present some of your kids, and can wrap it up with a quick look at that, and then we'll wrap it up from there. Okay.
Absolutely. Let me share my screen with you here. We'll go to. I have. This is Trish McCluskey is a firecracker pitcher out of Central Cal that we shot. And here's the same kind of thing I was talking about. First of all, you're going to see pictures, the graphic obviously going up. But the very first thing we're going to show on this kid is her right in your face. I mean, it's going to be a tight shot. Like, boom, you feel that power of her coming right at you.
Which I love right away because that's Trish. I'm fortunate enough to know this young lady, and she is power. She does have something. She's got something special that comes out of her hand.
Right. And then so what we do is then we put the fastball and the changeup side by side so coaches can see, does she telegraph her fastball or versus her changeup? So you'll see this. Boom. Look at that. And then we slow it down because you may not be able to tell. But look at that. Other than the hand motion at the end, her arm motion is fantastic. So then we come into actual speeds, and then we'll get right behind the catcher, and you'll feel it. You know that ball's coming in there with that.
I think I heard it.
Yeah, you did.
Now, that wasn't you putting those sound effects in there, was it, Brian?
No. And that was a good one. You can see her movement on her change, and this is that same pitch. You'll see that from behind the plate. Boom, good movement on the changeup.
Yes.
So,
Trish can
so that's, yeah, all of our videos end up, we'll show all their speeds. That's the thing that college coaches like most about College Bound Jocks videos is because we put all the measurables on there. We're going to have home to first speed. You're going to see the actual speed on the screen. You'll see their overhand arm speed. You're going to see their exit velocity. So any kind of measurable that people are measuring, we're going to have it on the screen so coaches don't have to guess, is that kid fast or are they not? And, you know, what's that bat looking like? It's like, it's a nice swing, but what's actually the punch behind it, you know?
Can I assume from what I just saw that it's important to you to put what's best first?
Yes. Always going to lead with your best. And that's why we always do, like, Trish is a little bit different because she just did pitching. But if we did I could show you any other player, if they have like two positions in hitting, we're going to do like 10 seconds of third base, 10 seconds of shortstop, 10 seconds of hitting, and we'll put it all together so you can see this quick little barrage of, wow, that kid's got some game. Right. So, and that's how it works. And then we hope to have hooked the coach by that time, and then they'll watch the rest of the video.
Well, if you just look at comparisons, I love that approach. I would imagine the recruiting service or the industry hates when they hear me say that the opening of 90% of videos all look and sound like this. My name is I'm a 2000 I play my GPA is and then you're just filling in those spots, right? And so it's like, a commercial, plop plop fizz fizz, right? I can't believe I ate the whole thing. Like, let's get to the good stuff. So the very first pitch that Trish threw right there, and again, maybe unfairly, I know who she is. It would have been great if I didn't know and I could hear that ball, the spins on her, because she's got some sizzle spin, right? And again, that's Trish, and that's something that's important, because how you sell your product. We are a generation that even if we have the computer in front of us and we're watching and recruiting a video, we've got our phone next to us. We might have the television on over there. We got this. So as soon as I lose my interest, my attention is going to go to another window, right? So holding people down and selling that value is extremely important. So I really like that aspect of what you did with your video.
Right. One of the other things that we did with our because we just launched this new website in January 20th. This is our third website since we started the company. But we were having issues. Like, I go to the NFCA convention every year, talk to coaches all over, college coaches, travel coaches. But a lot of the feedback we've been getting from the college coaches was that we didn't have players from Texas. We didn't have players from, Oklahoma or some of these other states, and that's what they were kind of looking for. So what we did was we decided to expand the platform and allow players to upload video of their own. So if they had GoPro highlights from games, or if they had somebody else that produced a skills video for them, they could still utilize our platform, which helps you get out to every college coach in the country. I mean, I will tell you, every coach in the country has been on our site at one point or another, just looking at different players. And when we put Trisha's video out there, we got a lot of attention pretty quickly from big time coaches. Yeah. So that's what we're allowing kids to upload their video, and then within the platform, they have the ability to reach out. We have an email system, a message system that reaches out to any coach, has every coach in the country in our database. So it makes it easy for them, and it's extremely inexpensive, as low as $25 a month. So
could you pull up your landing page, and let's just do about 1 or 2 minutes of just show them where to go. So rather than going to each department, just show them where to go to find more the information on the platform. Is it all the different packages you might have? So you're going to go to College Bound Jocks.
Right. So here's, as soon as our Comcast holds up to me here. So the website is here. And what people would do is, obviously it's split into 3 sections. You've got parents and athletes, high school club coaches, and then college coaches. So if they click on the parents and athletes, it's going to take you to that section. And we believe that a lot of people don't read a lot of things. They don't want to read things, don't have time to read things. So every single page on our website has a video. You can play it and explains everything that you need to know. And then from there, after you understand this video, you can click here, and it's going to take you to the a price page. So that here's several of the pricing packages. Now these are the where you can upload your own video. Then this package, the Pro Series, is if you are in another state and you have your own video, but you want to upload it, but you'd like our help marketing you to the college coaches, then that's the Pro Series package. And then coming over here, it's like, if you need video, we got you. And that explains here that college coaches prefer skills videos in softball, baseball, golf, and tennis. Other sports like football, basketball, lacrosse, they'd rather see highlights of game films in those. So then if they were to click here, it would take you off to explaining all that right here in this video. And then if you click on that, it'll take you back to those video packages that we have. So
that's really good. I was going to ask you that as well. So any type of your guidance that you can give them before they upload their video, right? Because you want the quality to be halfway decent when they're also to have an appeal factor, right? So that's really good.
Right. What we do is, if that person was going to go with our Pro Series package, we would be on the phone with their travel coach and talking to them, and really, I mean, I'm going to look at video and go, okay, this is what I see, but I'm going to also get some background on the player from the travel coach and get their perspective on that player before we start talking to college coaches about them.
Do you have a contact us page up here, where someone can see your email or?
Yeah, there's all over the place. You'll see, contact us or things like that. There's plenty of things on the site you can find it, or the contact us button. It'll show you our contact information. I'm actually Brian, Brian, at collegeboundjocks.com, and they can reach out to me directly.
Excellent. Well, I would encourage our coaches or parents to do that, to reach out. Again, we have a responsibility, and it's not to just push things and inundate people with kind of, things that just kind of distort things, but we want accurate information. So, again, I would like to think I don't give many recommendations. There's a reason why, but I think it should be a little obvious to people that you've got something that kind of works. So, and I think I understand that you could try it at a month at a time, right? So you can sign up, if you like it, then you kind of go on, because again, that's the best way to prove your value. It's not this all in, lock you up for the year. So I would encourage just anyone in our organization to reach out to you, to give it a try. And then afterwards, while they're trying it, we say this about our own products: kick it around on the floor, see if you can break it, shoot holes in it, and if there's anything that, you have questions about, ask you about it. I mean, we're the type of people that aren't insecure and overly protective. We want to know if something's working, something's not working, how can we make it better? So we're really in the service industry. So I appreciate your time. And again, it's collegeboundjocks.com, I assume.
Yes.
Right. Excellent.
Yep.
And then Brian, we'll touch base again and kind of see how things are going and kind of see the progress of Amanda and everything that's going with the USA tour once that gets back established. But right now we just need to all do our part so we can get back on the field again. Right. Start shooting those.
Right.
Right.
Well, I appreciate your time, Tony, and being able to reach out to all the Firecracker coaches. And I would just say, if you have any questions at all, feel free to give me a call even at 313-995-0863. We're not some giant recruiting company that I can't answer the phone for you. I'll be definitely talking to you, and I can explain everything and answer any questions.
I really appreciate it, Brian. Give it a shot, people. Let us know how you like it. All right. We're here to help. Okay. Thanks, Brian. Have a good one.
Thank you, Tony. Have
Take
a good
care.
day.